Hello and welcome to CFB UK, home of the UK's biggest college football fan page for the fans, by the fans. And you know what? We don't usually tell you what day we're filming because, like, when these come out, it was usually a few weeks before. But I will tell you today that this day is definitely going to be remembered long in the memory of people from the UK because it's so hot. My God. Like, I live in the north of England. It was like 32. These guys live down in, like, Norwich area. Down the bottom, south coast as well. And yeah, it's insanely hot. The last day of July. If you know, you know. But we're back again for another episode of 4 from 4,000. If you've not been here before, I will definitely explain. And if you have been here before, you're going to hear me explain it again. So why is it called 4 from 4,000? We're about 4,000 miles away from the mainland USA. And we're bringing you exclusive interviews with NCAA Division One football players from the stateside back to the UK. So we've had interviews all over America. And today's interview, not going to give it away too much yet. It's going to come in a second. So we're extremely fortunate to introduce you to today's guest. Today's guest is 7 hours behind. So it's 8 o'clock here. It's 1 o'clock where he is. And he plays in the Pac-12. A ferocious D-line talent with 12 sacks and 20 TFLs in just 20 games at college. He had the opportunity to enter the NFL draft last year and was predicted to be a drafted player, but he decided to recommit to his team for another season, play the senior year, and hopefully be picked even higher in the 2021 NFL draft. So please give a warm welcome to, from the University of Colorado, the Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah, I am repping. He's coming in now. Please welcome, from Boulder, Colorado, Mustafa Johnson.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
You're good.
Pretty good.
Where are you right now? Where are you? Are you in this like cafeteria or something?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's like a little coffee shop.
Nice. So, see, you're representing.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, usually when we do this,
Really?
right, when we do this,
Wow.
we promise you, wherever you are is hotter than here. Because in the summer, a nice warm day in England is about 65. 65 is a good day. Like, 65 is a really good day.
Yeah.
Today in England is 90. And that is
Ooh,
drastically hot for us.
90?
Yeah, so I have this as well. But it is, I can't.
Yeah, it's a long sleeve. You can't put on a long sleeve.
No, that's a sweater. It's a sweater. You were born in Aurora, Colorado, but you grew up there before moving to California just before high school. Is that right?
Like a week before high school.
A week before high school. So can you tell us about what life was like living in both places? Like, what was life growing up in Colorado compared to life growing up in California?
Well, Colorado was like more naturey and like mountains and like all that kind of stuff. But the part of California I lived in was like country town. So like there was cows a block away from my school. So it was just a big difference, to be honest.
And Cali life, living in LA, is it like the movies make it out to be like?
Oh, I love going to the beach. There's a big difference going to the beach than going to a reservoir.
The beach or a reservoir?
So that was really dope. You met new people, different lifestyles. What'd you say?
Did you say it's different to going to a beach than going to a reservoir, did you say?
Uh-huh. Yeah, big difference.
You not much of a big skier when you were in Colorado?
But I did a little bit.
It's a little bit. Okay.
Was it always football for you, playing wise? Never any other position other than the D line? Was it always the D line as well?
Oh no, I played when I was younger. I played a little running back. Then I got bigger and I started playing some linebacker. Then I got to D-line once I got too big to do it.
You actually spent a year at, is it Modesto Junior College? It's not the straight into Division One from high school route. Why did you end up going?
So I actually did a semester at Modesto Junior College. When I transferred to Colorado, I was still technically a freshman. But it was a fun experience. I mean, I was only there for a couple. I was just there for football season. I happened to put together a good enough film to leave. So, I mean, I lived with some friends while I was there, and I kind of just made my way through it. My team's actually, I don't know if you guys have heard of Last Chance U.
I watched the first episode last night. Yeah. That's cool.
What did you say about the last chance you?
What did you say?
What did you say about the last season, last chance you? You're in it, no?
So Modesto College were in the first episode of the new season. So
Oh.
Laney played Modesto in episode 1.
My team's actually right now. My team.
Oh, see, I'm still on Indy like season 3, so I watched Indy I was watching Indy last night because on the new season I need to catch up. So my next question is, so you were a 3-star recruit according to 24/7 recruitment page, and it says you had an offer from Oregon State, but the 2 schools that you were most highly linked to was Kansas and Colorado. You know, you visited both of them. But why did you ultimately choose to be a Buffalo?
Chose Colorado, I saw an opportunity to come in and play right away. And then I also it was comfortable because I lived in Colorado before, so that was good. I like the coaches. I ended up getting a new D-line coach, but he was a real cool dude too, so that was part of like why I like going there.
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado has a history, so that was kind of cool to kind of like learn more about that and be a part of that.
You literally run out of the style of Buffalo. Like, you can't get much more historic than that, right? Like a real life Buffalo running through the stadium. That's insane.
Right, and you don't realize how big they are until you get right next to them.
Right? Oh my God, that's insane. Like I watched a video of it like this morning, and I was just like, they've got like 2 guys either side, like running alongside it and like making sure nobody gets horned.
Cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Right.
You really burst onto the scene in this last sophomore season, 7.5 sacks. What do you attribute your fast start to your college career once you first took the field?
You said, what do I attribute my college career to?
Like your first season, because you really burst on at the scene with like 7.5 sacks.
Like, I'm confused on the question. Like, who do I like look up to, or like, what are you asking?
So you, a lot of players when they have their first season, obviously you played JUCO first year, and then you came into Colorado. A lot of players in their first year, they might take a little bit of time to adapt, but you literally came out flying out of the blocks, 7.5 sacks in your first season in the Pac-12. You didn't need time to adjust. So what do you put down, and what do you think the reason was that, unlike a lot of players, your first season in Pac-12, you absolutely smashed it?
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. My mentality is that I don't care what happens, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna beat the person in front of me, and I'm gonna make it happen. Because I had to beat out 2 people for the starting position, so that's kind of where my drive came from, and like why I was able to do what I did. Because I just have this mentality that I don't care who you are, I'm gonna do what I got to do to.
That's fair.
Make the play to be in the starting position to do any of that, you know.
Yeah, you've just got that drive, that engine. You need to do what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do what it takes to be
right.
First name on the coach's sheet. So I get that. So I've got a little bit of bad news for you. Okay, so we are trying to grow college football here, and therefore I have love for pretty much every college football team because it's something that we're just trying to grow in the UK. But I will admit, and I'll be a man to admit this, that I'm not a Buffs fan. Like I'm not like they're not like my team. But I have the reason I'm bringing this up is that me and you we can't be pals because my team is, and you should probably, can you guess what team it is before I show you? And it's a team that you have tormented since you've been in college football.
Oh, you like Nebraska?
Straight
That's
away.
crazy.
Why did I bring that up, people? Well, this guy right here had bullied Nebraska in 2 games that he's played against them. Both times he has
Yeah.
bullied my team. And to put that into stats, in 2 games he's had 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble, including that insane game last season where the Buffs came back from a huge deficit to. It pains me to talk about that game because that's the game I'm most upset with last season. But they came back and won it. But Mustafa had 3 sacks, including a forced fumble, and was just a wrecking ball that day. So come on, you've got to explain to me. There's a rivalry between Nebraska and Colorado, and you seem to. Not only does the whole team, the Buffs, step up to the game, but you step up massively whenever you play Nebraska. Like, not that you don't play at a really high level anyway, but my God, even you would admit, like, I don't think that in 2 games consistently you've had an impressive performance on the stat sheet as Nebraska. So come on, then explain to me what is it about that game, or how it can't be just coincidence that you've had 2 insane games.
To be honest, I don't know why. I like pressure. So I don't know if it's the fans sitting there yelling and screaming, and because honestly, so the first game, when I was just walking out of the locker room, one of the fans was like, "Hey, 34, like, F you, this, that," just yelling at me and like just saying mean stuff to me, like, and it just fuels me, I guess. I like the pressure of, like, I don't just when it's like a big time like that sack in the end of the game, like I just don't get tired when it comes down to it. Like, when it comes down to make the play, I gotta make the play. So I guess it just has to do with the energy of the game. And like, on top of that, their offense kind of like plays to my strengths. Like, I'm a run stopper. So when they're running the ball, that's my thing, you know? So they got these big linemen that are built to run the ball, like to push people out the way. Yep. So it kind of helps with my pass rush also. And they just kind of play into my strong suits of I'm a run stopper, you know? So that also helps me about other than just the energy of the game.
That makes sense, because we do play a lot of run pass option, and you know, we do rely heavily on the run game and stuff. So that's fair enough. Well, you're not going to play us this year, so you know, I'm happy. But yeah, no, don't forget whoever was like giving you some crap in that game. Like,
I can't believe that's the team of choice. That's crazy.
But hey, you've come and given up your time to spend with us. So it's all love here. It's all love.
Right.
For sure.
So we mentioned that you got off to a great start with your sophomore season with the 7.5 sacks, and your 2019 was equally as impressive. We were looking on the kind of draft predictions, and a lot of places had you, if you'd have gone into the 2020 draft this year, to go in as a day 2 pick. What made you think, no, I want to stay another year, recommit, stay in Boulder for your senior year? Why that one? And now?
Well, the first thing is just I want to graduate. I want to get my degree, and I want to get it while I can get it for free right now.
Yeah.
And then second, and second was injury. When I got hurt, I definitely think that hurt my draft rating a lot. So I didn't want to being in 3rd, 4th, 5th round, like, it's still getting drafted, but I wanted to have the opportunity to have a shot at getting the draft opportunity that I think I should be at, or showing that I could be up there.
Nice.
You know, so I think my injury also played a lot into it, because, like, if I wouldn't have got hurt and I just played the whole season and did, like, extremely well, and they told me that I was going to be a 1st-round draft pick, I probably would have left.
Okay.
But, so things kind of just worked out, because I've always wanted to get my degree, and then I just happened to get hurt, so it just kind of played into those favors, I guess.
Cool.
I bet the
quick follow-up question, Matt. What are you studying? What is your degree in?
So I'm a sociology major,
okay,
and I don't know exactly what I want to do with that yet, but I just know that I want to help people. That's what I want to do. I want to figure out a way to help people, specifically helping kids. So I guess the goal would be to use my platform to pave my way, I guess. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but I'm a soci major.
Awesome.
That's right.
Oh, no, cool. Nice. Yeah, I can respect that. Second, you mentioned your injury, and looking purely at the results, Colorado went on a bit of a good run when you came back for your injury. Do you think it was? Do you think you had anything to do with that? Would you know?
I think I would say I helped it because having a one of your good teammates coming back, one of your good friends that I'm a motivator. I always like cheer people on. I always lift them up. I always try to get people to do their best. And I think when people are doing that, it creates everyone to play at a higher level. Not saying that I just do that myself, but like as a team, you have more people doing that,
Yeah.
it's going to create more want to play and stuff like that. And then also, I think just coming back on the D-line, it gives confidence because there was a point when we had to start a lot of freshmen to play. So I think it brought confidence back to our team when we like had more seniors back or more when I was a junior, more returning players to be back up front.
Yeah. So I read in a recent article that you say you're missing the contact a lot and you miss sacking the QB. Do you think, because your position is very reliant on getting up close and personal, do you think it's one of the toughest positions to train at the present time?
Personally, I don't think it is because it's a lot of like one-on-one stuff that you can easily simulate with another teammate or another friend or just anybody. And I don't know, I'm just really good at carrying what I practice into game. So it kind of, to me, I don't think it's one of the hardest positions to do. I think that there's nothing that can simulate the contact and just the brute force that comes with the game of being, that comes with being a defensive lineman. I think that's the only part that you can't carry over from practice to like practicing on your own or doing like the social distancing and practicing with just one other person. You can't carry over the aggressive mentality, the brute force that comes with it. But the technique wise is very similar in like you can carry that over from being with a friend to a game. Gotcha.
I get that. I saw that picture on your Instagram many years ago at that USC camp. So what was that? Did you back then as a child have an ambition to be a Trojan, or was it just a local?
Oh, so you didn't hear that. Okay, so to explain that pretty much is it was just for exposure. I mean, I wasn't necessarily a USC fan. Obviously, it's a great school. Like, everyone wants to go there. And I was in California, so it was like an easy school to have like contact with, an easy school to drive to the camp. So it was more for exposure. Obviously, like, great school at the time. I was like, yeah, cool. I'd love to go to USC, you know. But at the time, it wasn't, they're my team. I never really had a college team growing up. I kind of just watched football. But, yeah, it was just more for exposure and trying to give myself an opportunity to be where I'm at today.
That's fair. Did you have an NFL team growing up?
Yeah, I like the Broncos. I'm a Broncos baby.
Broncos fan. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Again, great choice of shirt there.
Yeah, perfect shirt. Perfect shirt.
So I'm going to go on to the last question from this section, and it's really, no, I'm not. I'm going to send it to Sam because it's his question.
Yeah. Okay. So it's looking likely. I mean, you might know more than we do on this. You might have been told a bit more, but it's looking likely it's going to be a 10-game season for the Pac-12. And yeah, most divisions are looking like they're just playing within their own division, their own conference.
Right.
So does that change anything for your personal goals this year or your team goals? How does that change things?
It doesn't change anything really. I mean, the only thing that changes like the ending of not having the opportunity to play these other teams and like having a warm-up game in a sense, because I'm not saying that those games aren't as important, but they're not league games, you know. So you lose that, but it doesn't change anything since like everyone's doing it. Like, we all have these same amount of games, like, so it's just we're just gonna play the game. It doesn't really change anything. It's just I still want to put up the stats and numbers that I want to put up as if we were playing them or playing like Texas A&M or Colorado State anyway. So
yeah, that's fair enough. The last question I've got now, I know you'll have a focus on the Pac-12 season and want to have as strong a season as possible as a team, but we can't get away from talking about the fact that 2021 is going to be another NFL draft, but it is the NFL draft for you. And you're already obviously being talked about. You were talked about in the last draft. You're being talked about again. Draftsite.com, once again, as we say, every interview we don't plug, but they're well on it, and they've already produced a 7th-round mock draft for next season. So well done to them. And they've got you as the 97th overall pick, a 3rd rounder to the New England Patriots. Woo. So although, having said that, I usually say this, but then I'll add this time, I've read a couple of analysts who think that with a good season, you could be a 1st rounder. No problem.
Yeah.
So, based on all of that, what are your thoughts about the draft process heading into it, your aspirations? Where's your head at about 9 months away from one of the biggest, possibly the biggest, most life-changing moment of your life?
Right. No, most definitely will be. I mean, my head's pretty much the same as like how I told you earlier, like without like the injury and stuff like that. And if I would have done good, I would have left. But I kind of try to like keep that out of my head, because that's like all that's just like talk, and I really don't know what's going on. I like to keep my head focused on just playing the game. So, I mean, I know it's exciting and it's crazy to hear, but I personally just think, like, if I just keep playing my game, keep being a person that I'm doing, keep playing how I play, it's going to get me to wherever I'm fit to go. And if that's 1st round, that's 1st round. If it's 3rd round, it's 3rd round. Whatever it is, I kind of want to – I'm going to push myself to be the best, like, no matter what, you know? I'm going to try to do the best I can do, and if that – puts me in the 1st round, that's perfect. That's just what I want, you know? But then if it's not, it is what it is. But I just want a chance and an opportunity to create that change for myself, I guess.
That's a fantastic answer. That's as much as you can do, really. I know it's where you're picked always depends on what position players need, and
Right.
things like that. You know, there's plenty of players out there who were 1st-round talents that weren't 1st-round picks. So you just do what you can do, and the rest will all fall into place, I'm sure.
Exactly, because it's so weird how it plays out. Because like this year, it was a big wide receiver class. Like you don't know who's going to get picked. Like if it's a lot of D linemen going, like it just, you know, it's just not. It's just extra stress that's really not needed when it's an uncontrollable. You know.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I can control is playing football. So that's what I like to focus on.
Very true. That's all you can focus on. So we've got a little bit of a game to play with you, but I've got 2 questions to ask, which we ask every interview. And the first thing is, can you tell me something about Mustafa that we could not Google? So something about you that like most people might not know, or we couldn't find out by just having a bit of a Google. Doesn't have to be in football, could be outside of football, could be anything you want.
1 sec. Sorry. I'm kind of in this person's way.
No, it's okay.
Just move out of their way. What is a personal that you cannot look up? That is a really hard question. I mean, I don't know. This probably wouldn't be on the internet. People might know it. Like, I have a small family. It's really just my mom and my brother. Like, single mom, older brother, about 4 years apart. Watching my brother play football and succeed is kind of what helped me to be the player I am today. I definitely will say that. That's something you can't Google. My brother was a big inspiration watching him play and watching him go through his struggle of through the football process. Kind of, even though his struggle helped me get through easier. So I think that's a big thing, is that I appreciate watching him play and all that. So I think that's good. Another thing you can't Google is I play video games a lot.
Oh,
that's really, video games.
What do you play?
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty.
Playing Warzone.
I play Madden. I play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. I play Madden. I don't play basketball. I'm not that good at 2K, so I play basketball in real life. That's it.
So wait, hold on. You play Madden. So here's the big question. I pretty know the answer, because are you PlayStation or Xbox?
I'm Xbox.
Are you?
Yeah, I've always been an Xbox.
All right. So Nathan and I are both Xbox. Right. Can we get a game sometime when you're free?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
All right.
I'm gonna send you my username on Instagram.
Yeah. Sweet.
Why do I have a PS4, man? I wish I had
This is the first time that I've ever had a guy who's like, I'm an Xbox guy. Like, it seems to be everyone's PS4 guys. So
see, I don't like PS4 just because of the controllers. Like, it's
Yeah.
just too small for my hand, so I gotta like hold it weird. So I just have to have an Xbox. Like,
I
I
only
just can't.
bought a PS4 just to play the show, Madden MLB The Show, because I love baseball, and so I only you can only get it on PlayStation. So
Yeah.
reasons.
So I had a PlayStation at 1.2 just to play God of War because they were the only ones that had that. So I played it for that too.
Nice.
I bought mine for Last of Us again. I'm a PC gamer. I bought it to play Last of Us, and I was like, I can go back to the PC.
So the other question I've got before we play the game is, can you? So obviously, a lot of these interviews we do, you're in your room. You're obviously not in the room at the moment, but can you tell us something that you've brought with you to your? Are you in like an apartment or something, or like accommodation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in an apartment with one of my teammates.
Cool. So do you bring anything with you to away from home that is really important to you? Now, it could be something really personal. We've had a Bible, we've had one of those stretchy bands, we've had a lightsaber, we've had it all. So, I mean, or we've had like a necklace with like a picture in it or something. Do you have anything that you've brought with you that is something that had to go with you no matter what?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I had anything that had to come with me. I wish I was in my room to show you right now, but the only thing I really have that I like really, not that I don't appreciate my stuff, but that really like I look at every single day is I have these lion posters that are up in my wall, and they kind of like, one of them is a picture of a lion and it says like, everyone wants to be a beast until you have to do what beasts do. And I just kind of like that quote. I also have another picture of a lion that's like talking about being a leader and stuff like that. And then I just have one, like my favorite animal is a lion. I have a tattoo of it. Like, that's the only thing that I like, because I like look at it every single day and it kind of helps me remember what I'm doing, like why I'm here, what's going to push through, you know. But I didn't bring anything. That's the only thing I can really think of.
No, that's great. I think that's cool. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing that we was kind of looking for. So yeah, I like it.